Episode 2.8.
Episode 208.
Of the Blinker Fluid Podcast.
Blinker Fluid Podcast.
Blinker Fluid Podcast. We have upgraded. I'll just be honest. We've said this 5 times already. We tried to record this podcast and the power went out. And then we just kept postponing it and changing it. And here we are. But the important thing is that we are finally at our second episode.
Yes.
It's
Yes,
happening,
yes, yes.
and the power will not go out in Jesus' mighty name. We've upgraded significantly.
Mm-hmm.
We now have 2 microphones. Technically, we have 3.
4, technically.
Do we?
I mean, if you count mine.
Okay, whatever. Which is
5,
much better
actually.
than the one that we were sharing last time. So yeah, the idea is, like I said in the last episode, is we want to bring on some local business owners in the automotive industry, and then also some people that have built cars and kind of explain their story and frustrations and all that with building cars. So that's kind of what to look out for. But welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
What are we doing today, Satch?
We're going to start off with a really quick video. We're going to watch a video.
Okay.
You have not seen this video. I have, and it hurt me deeply. So right off screen, we have a computer, and we're going to very quickly.
Is it recording?
It's recording now.
You sure?
Yes,
Oh yeah, it is. Look at that.
All right,
Wow.
cool.
Technology.
Alrighty, so we're gonna watch this video, and Damon, I want to get your reactions to this video because it's something
beautiful.
about we are very passionate about.
It's great so far.
Here is how not to wash your car,
Okay.
because as you know, we're not a car wash company. We are a detailing company,
Yes.
but still, like, that's the first step, is washing your car well and not doing any of the things in this video.
Okay. I'm
So
excited.
let's get into it.
It's gonna be good. The intro is already getting me excited.
Top 5 car wash fails. Let's go. Number 1. So already, tunnel wash.
Tunnel wash.
Not my favorite.
Right off the bat. There's soap.
So if you're gonna go into tunnel wash,
Oh my God. Okay, dude, it got way worse as he panned to the right.
so I'm just gonna mute it because there's some cussing. So just muting.
Dude, that is so bad. A little bit of ozone generator needed in there.
So, I mean, you need an arc in there, bro. I don't know what you mean. They flooded that entire car.
Dude.
So why don't we like tunnel washes, David?
There you go.
That's one reason.
For that.
Yeah,
No.
that's a solid reason.
No. Because there's touchless tunnal washes, but anything other than a proper car wash, you're going to be sacrificing. People probably don't want to hear this, but in order to wash your car correctly, it just takes time. Doesn't matter if your car is ceramic coated or not. It takes time. Coated cars are easier to wash, but you go through a drive through, like a tunnel car wash like that, there's going to be brushes that are ramming against the side of your car. And I don't know if you've ever heard the sound of those, but it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. And you got to think through this. Lifted, muddy truck, probably not lifted because it probably can't fit, but a muddy truck goes through right before you. You think those dudes are going out there and like cleaning out the brushes so that your beautiful car can drive through there? Probably not.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
even the touchless ones, you might say, what's the problem? But the problem is when you go to dry the vehicle, the car's not going to be completely clean, and you're just rubbing all that dirt into your paint. It's no substitute for a proper car wash.
Fair enough.
Number 2.
All right, number 2. Okay. Tunnel wash again. I hope this is
What is that?
Mm.
I mean, got to give it to him for the full send.
I hope that's not the same car that was just in the first clip.
Dude, imagine.
It'd be a really bad
Imagine
Tuesday.
that.
It's a good day for a Tuesday tone at that point.
I mean, at that point, you got the hubcap is where it's really at.
Yeah.
The hubcap made it pretty far.
I mean, they landed on the fire hydrant.
Yeah.
So, this is what it feels. This is what it feels like to chew 5 gum. Stimulate your senses.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, yeah, I don't know if that counts as a car wash fail.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was thinking.
Oh, here we go.
Do what you got to do for views.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Look at those brushes, just massaging that paint.
Absolutely thwopping.
Yep.
Nice Chevy Tahoe.
Thwop. Oh, come on,
Oh,
bro.
no. Why would you do that?
There you go. He knows what he did.
Oh.
Except the bath that you're now about to get.
Oh.
Except the bath. And the brushes just to add insult to injury. Oh, I thought
I'm sure someone.
Oh, perfect. Well, he needed to leave the tunnel eventually. It was helping him out.
I think that's him driving. I think that he's trying to get out. Wait.
Wait. This is not a car wash.
This is
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm down for that, honestly.
I'm not. You'll see. I'm not down for that. I'm not at all down.
That's better than a tunnel wash.
The force.
That's what your car looks like when you take it through a tunnel wash.
The perspective of this makes it look like it's like a toy.
Yeah, for sure.
A toy, whatever this thing is, this freaking transformer.
Can we just talk about how big that crane is?
That's a big crane, dude.
That's not a crane, but what
no,
I'm
that's
saying. Whatever
that is. The transformer.
The thing, yeah.
The transformer.
The object.
It looks like it's like a toy put in front of the camera, and the car is so far away until the water hits the car, and then you realize.
Yes.
That it's a lot of water.
I should disclaim this podcast by saying if you are listening to this podcast and not watching it, you're missing out. You're probably like, what are you guys talking about? We're watching a video on car fails or car wash fails.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean.
See, that's
Yeah, I mean, at least it's clean.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give them that. I love the replays. They really.
I love the replays, yeah. I'd still rather do that than go through quick whack, but.
I love when people ask like, "Oh, how can water give my car water spots?" And it's like people don't understand how powerful water is. That's just weight right there.
I have no idea what's going to happen here. Okay.
Look at those beads.
Wait.
What?
What? What?
No way, dude.
No way.
Homie used the pressure washer.
Bro, what? I did not expect that. The twist.
Excuse me, you need to stop. Homie was in a hurry.
Dang, dude. Wow.
I mean, when you got to do it quick, you got to get it done.
Dude, I am flabbergasted at homie who defended himself with the pressure washer.
Yeah, that was impressive.
What even is that guy have? What
Dude, why? Okay, hold on.
Wait, there's two of them.
Oh, are they trying to rob him?
There's two of them. Yeah, they're trying to rob him, and he freaking look his homie too.
With the cigarette in his mouth.
You and your boy, you get this work. Wow. That man is a hero. Okay, that man is an absolute hero.
That's what happens if you try to rob us at Napa Auto Spa. We will pressure wash you.
Pressure wash the crap out of you,
yes.
dude. I don't even
just
care.
be forewarned.
Be forewarned.
Oh man, that was good.
Wow. Well, that was a good start. I did not expect the twist of that.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good, man. It was good. We had a lot of food. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
What is going on?
It's real good.
It was great, man. Excuse me. We had a technical difficulty for just 1 second. It was good. My mom made a lot of nice food.
Just like all moms.
Are
there any moms out there that don't make nice food? That's my question.
Probably. I had a really elaborate answer in my head, and I realized that it probably was not the best to share.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. How was yours, man?
It's good, man. It's good, man.
Solid.
Yeah, we went over to my pop's house, who bought he has a 79 Camaro Z28 that he bought, and I'll have to have him on eventually to share his story, but we're still in the process of it. But he's he bought it for $1,000 and it's just rusted out and trash. But I had a solid 350 in it that ran good, so we were like, even for $1,000 for a shell and a 350, and I mean, transmission shifted great, so we're, but yeah, we went over there and started spraying some primer on it. We'd been doing a bunch of like sanding and just filler work because the fiberglass bumpers are all cracked and took literally like 8 hours just to do the front bumper. Jeez. But yeah, so that was fun. It was kind of a interesting Thanksgiving because we ate at like 3 p.m. and then went out, and you could tell my dad was like, all right, time to go work on the car. So we went out and he sprayed some primer on the hood, which was cool because he's like, that was his childhood car. So you could see it was like coming back to life. Not child, I think it was one of his first cars, and not that car. Like I think it was an 81 Camaro C28. So this is like, as he was spraying it, I think his was black, and he's spraying it with black primer, granted, but still it was like, you could see the look on his face. He's like,
it's cool.
What every car guy or girl feels like when they start to see a build come together, which I'm excited to be able to kind of capture in this podcast, kind of go through some of those stories.
I remember my first car, like it was like really special. Yeah. I had a it was blazing fast. I had a 2002 Honda Accord, and
yeah, you did.
That thing, lightning.
You had that thing.
I had that thing.
Yeah, you did.
I really had it.
You had the heck out of it.
I had it to death. No, it was great. It was a great car. Love those cars. But,
so I was gonna have my buddy on to talk about his Saline Mustang that he worked on, but he has a little bit of a cough, and we all know that when you have a cough, that means you got COVID.
Need you die.
Can't have no COVID on this podcast.
No.
It's too close for COVID. Come on. So I figured I'd just kind of fill you guys in on one of the vehicles that I've had. For those of you guys that don't know, I used to buy and sell cars. That's how I got into detailing. And I don't know, we didn't talk about that on the first one, right?
No. We talked about it on this is actually episode 6.
0.75
this is technically episode 6, but episodes 2 through 5 all didn't work. So
it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Because now we're here and it looks beautiful.
We have all those stories now.
And we have 2 mics.
The
story would have been horrible because it would have been on a microphone, an intimate microphone.
A not socially distanced microphone.
We should rename this podcast ADD. Because we're both horrible at staying on topic. Anyways.
Are you talking about?
One of my favorite Dude, have you seen the trees lately? Just kidding. I really want to talk about the trees now. Anyways, trees are so nice.
So nice out there.
Yeah, so nice.
There's trees right there.
Yeah, so one of my favorite vehicles, changed my mind, that you can get for the price.
Welcome to the For the Price podcast.
is a BMW Z3 2.8 5-speed. I feel like for the price, there is no better car. Changed my mind. I don't know. Maybe not no better car. It's one of the best. You can get one with like decently low miles on it for like between $3,000 and $5,000. And they don't have a lot of horsepower, but they're super light and they're so fun, and you can find parts from all day. And so I was buying and selling like a lot of BMWs and Volkswagens, and basically German cars and Volvos, just because they were like, higher margin flips. And then I came across a Z3, and I was like, my guy, this is where it's at. So I picked up one of them, and then I ended up selling that one. I painted the hood on it and everything, and then I picked up another one. It was a little bit nicer, and then the third one I picked up was the one that I was like obsessed with.
Is that the red one?
Huh?
Is that the red one?
Yeah.
The red one was nice.
Technically 2 of them were red. The first one was red also, but it was like red and black, and then I had to repaint the hood, and that was like one of my first panels that I repainted. And it actually looked really solid, but it had a huge run on the side, and I didn't know how to sand out runs at the time. So the person that bought it was like, I remember they were picking it up to buy it, or looking at it before they bought it, and they were like, yeah, somebody repainted this hood and they did a horrible job. And I'm like, yeah, but that's what made me get really good at polishing, because because I was horrible at painting. And anybody that paints knows that you got to wet sand and polish if you suck at painting, even if you're good at painting. Anyways, I bought my third one, and it had a little roll bar in it. It was a hard top, which the hard tops are super rare, and if you do get up like a hard top aftermarket, they're way too expensive, like more than the car. So I bought some, I forget the style. I bought some OEM style wheels. I remember like even when I looked up the style to try to find because there's like a website with like all the BMW wheels, like OEM wheels, and I found some that I like really liked. I think they were off of a X3, but I don't know. Anyways, and it completed it. It looked really good. And then it was lowered. I think it wasn't on coilovers. It was lowered on some Bilstein shocks and some H&R springs. I can't remember though. And then it had a roll bar and a hard top, and that was my favorite car. I got it for like $3,500.
Jeez.
It had like 110,000 miles on it, and then I ended up just polishing it and making it perfect, like what I'd love to have right now. And then I had a daughter. And then that went out the window. Yeah, right? Yeah, much better. But yeah, that car was fun, man. It was, I feel like for the money, there's really not too many vehicles that you can get that are that enjoyable to drive. Because like BMW's thing is like the ultimate driving machine.
Right.
And, there's a lot of really fun cars out there, but for like $4,000, I don't know, man. I don't know. Sure. That was a fun one. I didn't do a whole lot of things to it. I just remember, I remember right when I was getting into ceramic coatings is when I sold it. So I'm sure I would have coated it. But I remember polishing the crap out of it. And then I would literally wash it and then see like a little teeny like swirl, and I'd like repolish the whole thing. So I probably ripped so much clear coat off of that, like just being obsessed with it. But yeah, I think it was amazing, man. But what's like a attainable goal of a car that you want?
That I want?
Yeah.
Because right now I have a great car for, my second car. I have
reliable.
I have a 2011 Jetta. I like it a lot. My first car was, like I said, the Honda Accord that I grew up in. We got that in 2002-ish. So I was like 8 or maybe something like that. So I've like that car was like the most comfortable car for me. Most comfortable car for me ever, because I'd grown up in it, and there's like stains from me and my brother, like crayons on the back window. And like all the stains in there were like, "Is he a boy?" So
Roots run deep in that car.
Roots run deep, and so and there's a lot of stories and a lot of stuff with that car. But now I have this guy, and it's I love the car, but I do wish I had something a little bit more, as a person who.
What makes you think it's a guy?
I made it a guy.
Explain that process.
So when
maybe I don't want to
when a Volks and a wagon love each other very much, they Volk, and then you get a Jetta.
Okay.
And Jettas are always boys.
I don't know about that one, dude. I don't know about that.
There's flavors, but Jettas are always boys.
All right. Fair.
But I do think I do like BMWs. I do like the X3s. The Z3s, my bad. I actually do like the X3s too.
Yeah,
those are pretty cool.
Is that what we have an X5 in here.
We have an X5 in here. The X3, Lucy Hicks. She had an X3. I do like those. I do like the SUV BMWs. Those are really cool. I do like the Z3. I think I drove around in one of your Z3s.
Probably.
Because you made me spill my coffee on myself. You were
driving. You should tell that story.
And didn't. So we're hanging out, and picks me up in his car. It's great. Actually, no, I think I skated to the coffee place because I didn't drive yet. So I skated to the coffee place. It's like, cool. So get there, hang out. He's like, all right, I'll drive you back home. I'm like, sick, thanks. And on the way back home, I have a cup of coffee, and I'm just, chilling. And, Damien likes to have fun in his fun cars. And we were going at a reasonable clip. When we hit a, bump, is like a swoop.
No, that's not what happened.
No, it is.
No, I remember what happened.
I remember what happened too.
I remember exactly where we were, and I remember that dip. But right before that, where you spilled the coffee was we were driving totally normal speed, and then I put it into, I
Third and
probably
fourth?
put it into like second gear, and then just like dropped the clutch and just went and like ripped, and you weren't expecting it, so
Oh.
then coffee flew, and then right after that we went over the dip, and then that was probably
So
even worse.
I had no either way. Okay, I got coffeed.
Yeah.
I do like that. I do like that kind of car. If I was to pick one for the
You
next,
You have like 15 grand.
if I have 15 grand.
15 grand.
Where? Where is
right
it?
now.
Okay. Where is it? I'll find it.
Tell
Give me
me.
a treasure map. I'll go dig it up. If I have 15 grand, honestly, dude, like, here's the thing. Can I use the 15 grand? Is it just for the car, or can I like buy parts for the car?
You could buy parts, yeah.
Okay. Oh man, because I really, really, really like the.
That's a tough question.
I really
I don't know
like
what I would
the
say.
like 2000s, like before they got all like boxy Mustangs,
Okay.
like the old GTs.
Okay.
I do like those a lot. I was actually looking for one of those when I bought this car. But it's just hard to find ones that have like reasonable miles on them and all that. Because I was trying to buy a car for $5 grand. So
Yeah,
There's the
I feel like
horizon.
five grand for like a SN95, like the facelift SN95
Yeah.
Mustangs. You could probably get one for like 5 with like
Yeah.
decent miles.
Yeah.
But everybody
hard to find for
everybody
sure, though.
trashes them too. That's the problem.
That's-
Nobody
yeah,
takes care of their
exactly,
Mustangs.
Exactly. That's also a good point. Because I'm not like
Noah.
Noah does tries a Mustang.
One of our guys has a Fox body that he rips on.
Yeah, it's great. I do. Yeah, I'm not the kind of person to like rip in my car, but also I've had like unrippable cars. So, if I had a car, I probably
You would die.
Rip.
You've already
I'd-
almost died in
That's true.
multiple times.
Twice.
Twice almost died.
Twice almost die. But I wanted a Miata also. I like Miatas.
Those are fun.
They seem fun. Yeah, it's this thing. Like I probably would get. It'd
wanna-
probably be a secondary car. I wouldn't have it as my main car for sure. But like nothing that I want really would be good as a main car. I do like.
Could you do an LS swap Miata for 15 grand? I feel like you could. Yeah, I feel like you probably could.
Probably.
Maybe if you did it yourself.
Yeah, I could probably do it myself. Just
Put
use
a
a lift in here.
Little vet engine in there.
Yeah,
A little ripper.
put a little.
That'd be
Put,
terrifying.
put poker cards in the spokes. What? Listen to go. when I
Poker
drive by.
cards? Dude, you know what you should do? You
Huh.
should take the engine out of your Jetta and put it in a Corvette.
In a Corvette.
Yeah. Think about it.
I did, and I
Okay,
don't think
cool.
that'd be great.
As long as you thought about it.
My engine is like just underpowered enough to not blend a pineapple all the way. Like if I equated it to a blender, it would struggle with the pineapple. Like it's
So
not
what
great.
does that make my Prius?
I don't know. You have the least quiet Prius I've ever heard in my entire life. Like that's the whole point of Priuses, that they're stealthy. Like your Prius sounds like it has COVID. Like your
It
Prius
does.
sounds
Probably
like it
does.
has like some kind of lung infection.
Dude, I called one of the employees last week. And I was like, "Hey, bro, you don't have to come in. The shop got COVID." And he's like, "Oh, like everybody at the shop got COVID." And I was like, "No. Like the building itself got COVID." And I was like, "And all the cars got it too." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, shoot.
He literally believed me.
No,
He's like,
he did
No,
not
I
believe
swear.
you.
Ask him.
No, where is he? It was a Nate.
He was Nate.
Of course. It was
Yeah,
Nate.
exactly.
Okay.
He straight up believed me. I was like, "Bro, a building can't get COVID." Oh man, moving on.
I doubt he believed you, but
yeah.
dude, yeah.
That
So I
dude.
think, it would have to either be. Do I have to keep the car I currently have, or is it gonna be my daily?
No, it could be anything.
Okay, yeah. Then I would either go with like a Miata just for fun. 15 grand. I think I could get like very, very tightly, and if I was very, very, I have to sacrifice on mileage and gas mileage and stuff like that, I'd probably get like either like a Boxster or like a 911. You could get a 911 for 15,000. Like an older one.
I don't know. I think
I
you
don't
might
know
be right
either.
at the cusp.
I think I'm right at the cusp with the 911.
Like Jeff Scott's Targa. I'm like wondering how much you got that for.
Yeah, like that. But
That thing's
that thing's at least
beast.
20, I think.
I don't know.
For the
Honestly, I'm like pretty out of the loop with Porsches.
Me too.
I
see
look
a
at
lot of
I
them
look
around
at
now.
I look at them as being super valuable, and I'm like, that probably cost $1 billion. But
Yeah,
I've never gotten into Porsches, and I feel like it's just because I'm afraid of maintaining them,
for sure.
which is kind of dumb because I feel like that's not realistic. But anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like I would probably get, which is another one of my favorite cars, literally like 50-50 between the Z3 and a BMW 540 M Sport. I always get confused between the M Tech and the M Sport. I think the M Tech is like, has the, anyways, the ones with the M5 bumpers on them and the M parallel wheels. I don't know, man. That's like with the 6-speed manual.
Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite cars. I would get one of those. I'd get one of those for probably like $6,000 to $7,000, and then I would supercharge it. That's what I would do, and it wouldn't be crazy fast. I'd probably be able to pull like maybe 400 horsepower out of it, maybe. But
I do like
dude,
my mom.
so
My
fun.
mom has a 3 Series, and I personally don't like it a whole lot. But maybe that's just because like
it's
I don't know.
3 Series is like, well, I mean, you can get it like
It's a
an
I think it's a
M3 or
328.
yeah, that's like base
It's
model.
like the base model.
Yeah.
It's nice. I do think if it was maintained better, I would like it more.
Yeah.
But like it's had like an oil leak for like 2.5 years.
Well, here's the thing. When you could take a car that is very cool and have it not be like clean and maintained, and then you don't like it. Like like I don't know. I've had a lot of vehicles. I'm sure some of you guys listening or watching have been in the place where like you buy a car and then like a year down the road, I probably shouldn't cough into the microphone. Learning this thing, podcasting, new to me.
Podcast has COVID now.
Yep. You all got COVID.
You'll see a little cut in about 40 seconds, but we'll be back in a sec.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing that. Yeah. So I mean, if you have a vehicle and then you have it for like a year, I feel like you don't really like it anymore. Like
You lose the
it
like,
loses
wonder,
the like
you know?
yeah, it loses the fun to it. But if you have a vehicle that is very old and ugly and you get it freshly detailed, I mean, I've done a lot of cars where I'm like, I want this thing now, like an old Tahoe or something.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after a quick break.
And we're back.
I was looking at the camera's time going out, so I wasn't really concentrating with what I was saying. But what I was trying to say is that we've detailed a lot of vehicles that have looked very old and ugly, and then we bring them back, and I'm like, I wonder how many people, before selling a car, if they just got it detailed, because do you think about how much money you lose when you drive a car off the lot, like the instant depreciation.
Yeah.
Like you literally, buy a car for $30,000 and then drive off the lot, and it's probably $25,000 just being.
I do remember one time we did I did. This was back when we did mobile stuff all the time. There was a guy who had a Volkswagen. I want to say, what is it, GTI? It was a GTI, and it was a super nice Volkswagen. But he wanted us to get detail. He was gonna sell it. And it was just caked in pet hair. It was probably the worst car I've ever seen. No, it was the worst sedan-ish car I've ever seen.
I was going to say.
We had a truck the other week that was like intense.
It was
intense.
It was hair with a truck.
It was.
The pet hair had a truck.
It was terrible.
It wasn't.
I could literally remake a dog with. I can make an entire kennel with the amount of dog hair that was in this car.
Yep.
But I spent a couple hours on this car, getting the dog hair out, and then as soon as he saw it clean, like detailed back to new, he was like, "Oh, I don't think I'm gonna sell it." And then like 2 months later, I saw him driving through In-N-Out in the car, and so I'm like, "Oh, he didn't sell it,"
Dang.
Just, the power of a nice, clean, detailed, brought back to life car.
Dude, I feel like maybe it's just the classic, like when. How many times have we been detailing and somebody's like, I'm next, or like,
yeah.
How much for a detail, and they like, that they don't want it. They're just asking. I don't know, but I feel like it's the same equivalent of like people that say when they come to pick up their car, they'll be like, now I don't want to sell it. Like I feel like I've seen that, like heard that, like, oh, I was going to sell it, now I don't want to. Somebody that's getting, because we do a lot of like pre-sale preps, like details that are cars that are going to be sold. And
it does increase the value of your car significantly
Like
if it's freshly detailed before you sell it.
and not like a car wash too, because
No.
you spend a couple $100 on a detail. I always ask customers when they call in, like, okay, how much are you planning on selling it for? Because okay, if you're talking about like a $2,000 car, yeah, spending $500 on a detail not gonna make sense. But if your car's worth like at least $10,000, and you plan on getting that for it, you know, you can get significantly more. You can get another 10-15% of your vehicle's value
Absolutely.
just by having it look clean. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. When you go buy a car, you don't want to get in it and see it dirty because instantly you're going to think, oh, that vehicle wasn't maintained well, you know?
Yeah. I think the one thing that's helpful in selling cars is removing anything that the person buying it can point out to lower the price.
Yeah.
Because when we bought my Jetta, we pulled up and it was like while they were in the car, the person was smoking in the car.
Yeah.
And so instantly that's like, okay, well that's something that
Yeah,
I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah.
So
And I'm like, oh, we're going to have to get that out, like not knowing that we own a detail shop.
yeah. And, stuff like that, like oil. We don't really do that here, but just pointers for the future. Like oil, clean out your trunks.
Yeah,
like,
get an engine bay detail.
absolutely, that's amazing. Like a clean engine bay gives so much like peace
pop
to
the
person
engine and
buying
go
it.
look at it and check the oil level, even though
Mhm.
that doesn't mean anything because they could have just topped the oil or could have
Amen.
just changed
Yeah.
it, and that doesn't. But anyways, like, they go to check the oil and the engine's all nice and clean and dressed.
Boom.
Solid.
$50 right there.
Solid. But
Boom. Pop.
yeah, and then there's and like I said, and then there's vehicles that like just lose their like spark,
spunk.
spank. They lose their spank.
Lose their spank.
Right, like I feel like even a couple months in,
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, man.
I think
Solid tips for the
Absolutely.
fam, for the blinker fluid fam.
blink or flam.
I think it's been a solid episode.
Yeah.
What do you think? You got anything?
Do we answer the official statement for which car we'd get? What would you get for $15,000? Probably another Z3. Red one. Hard top. OEM wheels.
It would have to either be a Z3 with I forget what the BMW engine codes are, but probably a 540 engine, like the engine out of a 540 swapped into it, and if I could supercharge that, even better, or a 540 M Tech or M Sport. I always get them confused. I think the M Sport is like the full on, like it's everything except for the engine.
Right.
And I think the M Tech is, I don't know. Anyways, I would get one of those two. I always forget the difference, but
Solid.
and then supercharge it. Do as much performance stuff as I could do for whatever that would be, probably $10,000. So one of these days, my buddy Austin Freskin has a Ford Expedition that we're gonna go look at today and possibly trade for a detail.
Are you actually going to go see it?
I'm thinking about it.
Oh,
I
man.
think it's gonna be solid, man. I was supposed to go look at it on Tuesday, and then he called me and he's like, "Hey, so it's like I can't get the key to turn over. It's just like he has like ranch ranch property, so he just rips around in it." And he says it runs and everything, but I'm just like, if we can buy it and then like mess around with it and
Sure.
go take it to lunch or like, I don't know, something like that. But yeah, one of these days we'll have a cool project car and be able to do some fun stuff here at the shop. So anyways,
Absolutely.
thanks for checking out the podcast. Stay tuned for some more fun, more stupid, more obsession. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.